My name is Alex Decourville. I'm a local actor and comedian. I created the Amazon Prime series Pinheads, and I'm the writer, director, and star of the upcoming film Science Boys High School Reunion.
Oh, hey guys, welcome to Rant Rave with Don Michaels. Today's special guest is none other than Alex Decourville. He's the writer and producer of Pinheads, which you can find on Amazon Prime. So we're going to have a little chat with Alex and see what's going on. Today's show is brought to you by Savage Media. Check them out today at savagemg.com. Alex, welcome to the show. It's quite an honor to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about what you have going on here. You have a show on Amazon Prime, correct?
Yeah, we scored the Amazon Prime deal back in January through my distributor, SGL Films.
Oh, okay, great. So when you say scored, that means you got the gig. I mean, how do you go about doing something like that?
It's complicated. My friend Roger Preby, who I want to give a shout out to because he's the one who helped me get the deal.
Okay.
He got his film Quarter Bin distributed through SGL Films, and so you can watch that on Amazon Prime as well. And he told me that the distributor, Jeffrey Swanson, was looking for TV shows. He knew I had a show. We were on YouTube for a while. So he knew I had a show, and so he recommended me to him.
Oh, okay, nice. So what is Pinheads? I mean, what's it all about?
It's a comedy about these very eccentric characters. They're all kind of weird in their own way. You know, my character Charlie is just this awkward character with like no filter. Brian's obsessed with food. Bernie is just completely off the rails. You know, the three leads, Brian, Steven, and Charlie, they work at a radio station. They spend their free time in a bowling alley. It's a little like, a lot of people have compared it to shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I've drawn some inspiration from shows like The IT Crowd because it has a bit of a flexible reality. You know, we drop the occasional fourth wall joke, stuff like that.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. Now, how many episodes are there?
There are currently 7. The first season was 6 episodes. We're gonna 7 episodes. As of season 2, and this guy's gonna be on season 2, so that's one reason to watch. As of season 2, that's gonna be up to 13.
Okay, excellent. Now, how many seasons are you putting into this until they cancel it, or do you keep going?
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going. I mean, it's not like anybody can cancel us, though. The disadvantage, that's one of the that should show out the give and take of the industry. It's like, no network is gonna come in and cancel us, but at the same time, it's pretty much all self-funded.
Oh, it's self-funded. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've watched the first few episodes in the season 1 for these guys, and it's hilarious. You have to tune in and check it out. And then, as Alex stated, I'm going to be a little special guest there in season 2 in one of the episodes. I'm not even sure which, but it's a lot of fun, and these guys are very creative. So go ahead and check them out on Amazon Prime. So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing right now. You have a new and upcoming film called the Science Boys High School Reunion. Now,
Yes.
Now what is that all about?
It's another comedy. It's a feature about this guy. He was this huge geek in high school. He got his powers in high school as well, and he's been spending a few years as a superhero. But when he gets his invite to his high school reunion, he goes back there. He thinks that he can now impress his old crush, Jackie, this girl named Jackie. But the problem is, he's got to deal with his old bully. He's got to deal with this bad guy named Killjoy. And in many ways, he kind of has to deal with his own ego to a certain extent.
Now let me ask you another question here. Where did you come up with, I mean, you're so creative, but where did you come up with this idea at? Is it something that relates to you growing up in high school, or your friends, or, I mean, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it is sort of a combination of a lot of different things. Truth be told, it was sort of an amalgam of a screenplay I wrote previously. It was about this guy who, it was more of a. The screenplay I wrote was originally a much broader superhero parody where Science Boy was just a sidekick. And out of nowhere, about 2 years ago, I got this wild hair for writing a raunchy high school comedy, something like Animal House or Porky's. And I was thinking, maybe write an ensemble piece, like maybe Science Boy is one of the students, and then it just dawned on me, like, wait a minute, what if it's like his high school reunion? Because, I thought of so many jokes about it, because there's a lot that could be done with that, and I incorporated it in. Like my brother, he suggested this joke about how he goes there and people are asking him smart aleck questions like, oh, how many lives have you saved?
Well, that sounds pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
Well, can we share a clip to the film? Did you have
we made a 2-minute teaser as sort of like a proof of concept.
Okay, so why don't we go ahead and take a break real quick, and we're going to cut and go right to the clip and check out the movie here.
He was the biggest geek in high school.
Isaac Newton, Bill Nye, Doc Brown, I call upon your power!
Now. He's still a geek.
I am Science Boy, half man, half science.
He's about to face his biggest challenge yet. A reunion.
I think a man should be able to protect his woman.
He's gotta get the girl.
I am Killjoy. Killjoy. Killjoy.
Fight the bad guy. And have some drinks.
Drink up. And the more you drink, the smarter you'll get.
For science!
Science Boys High School Reunion.
Alright, I'm gonna need everyone to sign a few accident indemnity clauses. Last time I did a rescue, somebody tried to sue me. Lots of red tape.
Wow, Alex, that was hilarious, and that's several different scenes, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, it was kind of a challenge because when I was preparing this trailer, I briefly considered, writing some original shots for the trailer, but Richard Stano, my good friend and the producer of The Lucky Thumb, he told me that you don't want to lie. Like, the stuff that's in the teaser needs to be in the movie. So, I thought that was a fair point. So I was faced with the challenge of, what are scenes that we can do for this trailer that, we can do with, next to no budget. And, so I had to go through my script because you gotta split the difference. It's like they gotta be stuff we can do with no budget and stuff that's also gonna make the movie look good.
Right. So in other words, what you're saying is you guys didn't even have any filming done yet, so you had to go through your script, decide what you wanted to put in as the teaser. Mm-hmm. And I can imagine that is pretty difficult. You have to get everybody together just for, a couple shoots there. And,
yeah.
It can be quite challenging if you guys aren't familiar with how the whole small film industry works here. But let's move on here if we could. I have a few other questions for you. Now, you mentioned budgeting. Mm-hmm. I imagine, and I know and understand the struggles here with my team and when we do the short films and stuff. it can be very costly.
Yeah.
So how are you funded? Are you self-funded, or can people donate? Is there, how do you go about getting, generating revenue to do these films?
Well, right now we have a Seed and Spark, which is kind of like Indiegogo, if you're familiar with that. We do have several perks available, and they range from like $5 perks to $1,000 perks, but they're proportionate. Like, I'm not just asking for money just to ask for money. Like, some of the perks range from like special credits in the film, like, giving people thanks, and that's something my brother told me, like, when I was doing Pinheads, I kind of thought that, like a special credit, I thought that was implied, My brother had a great point. You have to be literal with people. You have to explain to them that, just give $5. Just $5 is going to get you something.
Okay. Let me just, and I don't mean to, I'm just kind of reiterating so I understand clearly. When you say you're offering perks, so somewhere in your film or at the end, the credits, or maybe it's a Coca-Cola can and say,
Right.
Hey, put our Coca-Cola can on your table. Here's $50. We'll leave it on there for 5 minutes. Is that kind of what a perk is?
You have the right idea, but perks can vary. I'm doing this through Seed and Spark, where they actually had a class, and that's one of the reasons I like Seed and Spark. They actually give you advice. Like, they will give you advice to the letter on things you can do to improve your campaign.
Okay.
But some of the an example of some of the perks we're giving away, like. A lot of people will give away like copies of the DVD in advance, and they said that's not a great perk because if you're selling copies of the DVD and you're trying to get funding, the people who produce those DVDs they're not going to give you free DVDs. So you're probably going to have to pay to send out those DVDs out of your pocket.
So what about sponsorship then? When you come in and let's just say, like, for example, I'm with Savage MMG Studios, working with them to do my shows and stuff like that, and putting them as, what if they wanted to sponsor your movie? Would they offer $100 and say put us in the credits, or what kind of perk would that bring them?
Well, I reached out to sponsors and I told them that I did reach out to a few sponsors. Sadly, I either haven't heard anything or what I've heard hasn't been good. But I've been in this business long enough to know sometimes you just need that one yes.
Okay.
Like one example, I actually got internet celebrity Obscurus Lupa to guest star in season 1 of Pinheads, and for me it's like I asked like 5 or 7 people to guest star, and she was the one person who said yes. So sometimes that's what you need, but like. I would negotiate with the sponsor to see what they wanted.
Okay, all right. So you guys are looking to get your business out there, or your product, or what have you. Reach out to Alex here and help him out with his film, with his upcoming film, and he can help you out in return. And maybe we'll talk about that once we get finished here.
Right.
So let's see what else. Now, when is the movie set to be released?
Oh well, that's the hard part, because we haven't actually even started rolling cameras yet, so It can be tough to predict. I mean, we were talking Pinheads earlier. I'm sorry to say we ran into some difficult production issues. Like, I had 5 of the 6 season 2 episodes final cut ready when I found out that we had to cut SAG actors. Like, we got Kevin Brown to guest star, and we had to cut him because we couldn't get SAG approval. But, so that was unfortunate. But that's an example of how these things can get slowed down.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of bureaucracy, so to speak,
involved. Plus, I can't guarantee. There's also no guaranteeing how long editing is going to take me. Like, I had to, we're in the indie scene. I still have to work, and I still also do comedy. So those are the things that can slow down the post-production.
Okay. How long is the movie expected to be?
Well, the rule of thumb in Hollywood, this is not 100% accurate, but it's a good rule of thumb. The rule of thumb is 1 page typically equals 1 minute. Obviously, that's not always the case. Like, I'm a big fan of the show Moonlighting, where I read that scripts would be like twice as long because Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd would talk over each other. But that's an example. But there aren't a whole ton of scenes like that in my movie. So I'm ballparking like 86 minutes,
Okay.
Things might change, not perfect estimate because, there are action scenes, there are fight scenes.
Now, just to give the people an idea, an 86-minute movie, how much footage is that?
Well,
I mean, are we talking 3 hours, 4 hours, 20 hours?
Oh yeah, it could be up to 20 hours. I mean, I've been a pretty proficient director, and I'm teaming up with a Cincinnati-based production company called Chances Are Productions. So it can vary. Like they said they may have multiple cameras, which would probably save us a lot of time. So, but for Pinheads, though. But even with multiple cameras, that's still a lot of footage to go through. I mean, it's helpful because it makes it easier to do things in fewer takes, but it's still going to be a lot of footage. Like there are, that's one of the reasons I think about a lot of the movies I watch. I mean, it's exciting what, I was actually on the set of the first Avengers, and the scene where Loki is coming into Stuttgart. That was 2 nights for me.
2 nights.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes of the movie.
Right.
But I was there for 2 nights, and they did like take after take after take.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. So, okay, do you have anything else you want to share with us here? I think we're about running out of time.
Yeah, this Saturday, May 4th, we're having a fundraiser comedy show for the movie. It's actually the first show I've ever produced. Chris Kettler of Funny Noises Productions is producing this with me. He's also going to be on the show. We have some great comedians, great local comedians, Jerry Jaffe, Brett Thomas, Dave Flint, Kelly Thulis. Yeah,
Okay.
Really funny people. It's going to be a great show.
Excellent. And where's that going to be at?
Barmacy in Akron.
Barmacy in Akron. Can you share a link with me so I can put that into the end of the video?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, you know what? It's a pleasure and honor to have you here. I'm looking super forward to season 2 of Pinheads and for your upcoming film here. Guys, check out Alex. If you guys can donate, again, I'll put the link to that on there as well. He's offering perks and so forth. I want to give a special thank you to SavageMMG.com for allowing us to use their studio. And, well, until the next time, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye. A special thank you to Alex for being a guest on our show. And don't forget, May 4th at the Barmacy in Akron, Ohio, a fundraiser comedy show for the feature film, Science Boys High School Reunion. And if you'd like to advertise your business, you can do so and help support the film at seedandspark.com/Science Boys High School Reunion. A special thank you to Savage Media for allowing us to film in their studios. And ladies and gentlemen, Rant Rave with Don Michaels is teaming up with Savage Media to bring you a whole new level of shows. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's start having some fun.